And this is the Holy Ghost.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for a place called Leho Foods. Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Ah, ooh, werewolves of London. Ah, ooh. Ah, ooh, werewolves of London. Ah, ooh.
Who is right? Yeah.
You hear him hollering
Yes.
around your kitchen door.
Yes.
You better not let him in.
Why not?
Little old lady got mutilated late last
Oh, little old lady got mutilated late last night. Okay. So? Oh. Ow. Ow. Yeah, baby. And here we go. Coming at you live and living color. I'm your host, Brian G. Good evening or afternoon, depending what part of the world you're on and what time zone you are in. That's right, we are doing this thing. Damn it. Oh man, if you thought I was going to bring my unshaven ass on this show, you must be mad. Oh yeah, I'd like to meet him too. That's okay. Well, this is what we're doing. I got a new flavor to try out, but I don't lose it. No idea. Risata Moscato d'Asti, product of Italy. So $5 for this small little bit. This better taste awesome. Okay. No idea how much alcohol is in this thing. That's not bad. It's sweet, but it's got a little rancid taste to it. Okay. Well, I mean, it's sugary, and then it's got that cheap wine taste. I don't know, some expensive wines have a rancid taste too. Have you noticed? That's okay. Wow, what a day, what a week, what a month. It's almost over. Snow's on the ground. All my neighbors that push their leaves out to the front curb to be picked up, they've been sitting there for 3 weeks, like I thought it would. Snow on top of the leaves now. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a vinegary taste. It's not horrible. They did sweeten it up a little bit. I left it in the freezer just a tad little too long. It's got a little slush, but I think the alcohol kept it from freezing. So, it's not bad. For $5, that's a little steep. So that tells me a full bottle. This is only 6.3 ounces, just over $5. So that's almost $1 an ounce. I'm sorry, I would not buy an entire, for this price, I wouldn't pay for a full bottle. That's like what? That's like $15-20 a bottle. Forget that. Maybe even 30. How much is Now let's do ounce to ounce. This Corona Familiar, this is 1 quart, 32 ounces. Now, for the same volume, this, we're going to test my math skills. Let's just round it up to 30. So 5 of these times 5, that's like, that'll come out to like $26, $27 when you even it out, because it was like $5.27. So just rough math off the top of my head, it'd be like $26, $27 with tax. I'm sorry, this doesn't taste that good to spend that kind of money for a full bottle. So, my God. Yeah, this is a pretty big bottle, man. I'm gonna be well served after this. Woo! Corona Familiar, it's not bad. It's better than the regular Corona. I don't care for the regular Corona. I mean, it's okay, but it tastes more like light beer to me. And you gotta I literally gotta squeeze 5-6 lime wedges just to make it taste okay. But Modelo, not bad. For Modelo, for the taste, Modelo is definitely worth it. Bud Light, ugh. I'm actually kind of glad that Modelo surpassed Bud Light in as far as sales in this country. I don't care for the reason that it surpassed. It's because of a bunch of drunk, racist rednecks decided to throw a hissy fit, all because Bud Light featured a transgendered person on one of their bottles. It's like, fuck you. Pride flag. Ugh. Fuck you. You've been drinking tasteless beer this entire time, and now you want to boycott it. It's like, fuck off. Tasteless, palateless sheep. Go fuck yourself. Running Ragged. I should have named this Go Fuck Yourself, Bud Light fans. But seriously, though, if Bud Light would come back to the table with a better tasting beer, like Modelo, they're welcome back into the spotlight. They're welcome back to the, come back home. Just bring a nice tasting beer with you. Your Bud Light tastes like shit. So does Budweiser as well. Well, anyway, it's not bad for, you know what? Try it. I would definitely buy it the first time. I would recommend you buy it the first time. It's not horrible, but it's just for the price you're paying. It's like, come on. All right. Ooh. Let's get this party started. Here we go. All right. Ooh. Now, where are we going from here? Well, I've got some unexpected good news. It turns out that old videos that we did for this show that got deleted when I tried switching over to a brand account. I tried to make a brand account on for biblical history skeptics, and you have to create a secondary account to transfer all your videos over. It's just stupid the way they've got it. And I did some reading on creating a brand account. One of the things I missed, and I don't think they featured, I watched several do-it-yourself videos, and you're supposed to start a secondary account and let it sit for 1 month, a total of 30 days. And that was one of the steps I missed, and it ended up deleting the entire show when I went to switch over and try to transfer the entire account from one to the other. It just everything deleted. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I couldn't explain it. I'm like, where? And then they said, oh, well, you're supposed to do. I'm like, God damn it. Why did they let me go through the process if you're supposed to wait 30 days? Whatever. So a few videos that got deleted are starting to resurface. I don't know how or why or where they're coming from, but you can go back. If you go back past the 200s, because I think I started on video 203 or 204. I think that's when I started on this program, on this channel. But now I'm seeing old videos like from 175, 74, that sort of thing. So not all of them survived, but a few of them have popped up strangely. I don't know why or how or so stupid. Pisses me. Oh, I started at 215. Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. So that means from 215 to 226, all of those videos are new since the day of the fuck up. That's what I'm going to call it. I just can't believe that you literally have to be a computer whiz to be able to do. It's like, how can YouTube's been around a very long time. You can't figure out how to put stop gaps and, safety, whatever. It shouldn't be this difficult. It really shouldn't. Anyway, so that kind of. So Elon Musk is still hemorrhaging money. He was getting $4 billion in ad revenue, and it's down by half. He's getting, if he's lucky, he's getting $2 billion. So I'm all for it. I can't. Yeah, this site is just fucked. It really is. But what are you going to do? So, yeah. Well, you know what? I think we're going to watch a video. We'll do share screen. And away we go.
This is that type of shit that I hear on a daily. And if people rinse and repeat it, people will believe it. But because the Shade Room and Charlemagne's so stuck on stupid, I have no other choice but to do it. I'm going to tell you everything that the Biden-Harris administration has done for the Black community since taking office. So day one, numero uno, when Joe Biden was first appointed to office, he signed an executive order in advancing racial equities for undeserved communities through the federal government. Well, what the hell did that do? Well, let me tell you. First of all, it provides an increased federal grant funding for criminal justice reform, prohibits certain unjust law enforcement practices, updates federal prosecutory guidelines, and then it also invests in community violence and prevention programs. And since we're on the subject of criminal justice reform, when the Senate failed to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which was killed thanks to Senator of South Carolina, Tim Scott, who refused to work with Democrats to end qualified immunity, Joe Biden called on the Department of Justice to ban chokeholds that killed George Floyd and no-knock warrants, the same ones that killed Breonna Taylor. Also, under the Biden-Harris administration, Merrick Garland will be seeking federal charges on the 2 officers that are involved in Breonna Taylor's death. So to jail you go, ho. Lastly, on criminal justice, Joe Biden signed a pardon for everybody prosecuted on a federal level for simple marijuana possession. So much for crime bill Biden. Since everybody keeps talking about this anti-Asian crime bill that doesn't exist because it's called the COVID hate crime bill, let's talk about a bill that actually does exist. The Emmett Till anti-lynching bill was signed into law after 200 failed attempts by Joe Biden. And since all y'all care about is the money, honey, let's talk about how much money Biden has given to the Black community. The first bill signed into law by Biden was the American Rescue Plan, which provided $1,400 stimulus. Not only that, a child tax credit, which lifted 50% of Black children out of poverty, which wouldn't have gotten passed without Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. But she don't do nothing. Since Biden-Harris took office, Harris, capital on the Harris, because y'all gonna stop mistreating my damn girl. Biden even said himself that Kamala Harris is the first person in the room, last person to motherfucking leave. Every damn thing that comes out this administration, she's got her hands all over it. They've been able to create 11.6 million new jobs versus Trump losing 2.5 million jobs. They've been able to decrease Black unemployment from 9.4% to 5.4%. Not only that, they've been able to give over $5.9 billion to HBCUs compared to Donald Trump only giving us $250 million. Thanks to Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and her tie-breaking vote in the Senate, she was able to pass the Inflation Reduction Act, which caps the cost of insulin, knowing that diabetes disproportionately hurts the Black community.
Yeah, so whenever they start talking crap about, oh, well, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they haven't done anything for the Black community. Well, you're hearing from them. You know, it's just bullshit. I mean, you know, the way they're just going after, but whatever. Let's talk about real politics. Let's get real nitty gritty. What is Joe Biden doing? What are they doing? And all these assholes, well, we're not going to vote, period, because Biden didn't do this and Biden didn't do that. Well, you do realize he has to deal with obstructionist. He has to deal with obstructionist Republicans who are voting against everything that Democrats are trying to do for the American people. You know, he's still, I mean, they still got to deal with it. So let's get down to business. Yes. Here we go.
Okay, baby. So I feel like you're the one who's leaving diatribes over there on my Instagram post about this, and now you're over here in my comments. So let me just say this. My husband and I talk about this a lot, and we frame it around home makeover shows, right? Like, you know, those home makeover shows where they give the owner of the house a sledgehammer and let them go to town on a wall, knocking it down, breaking it down, burning it down, whatever, right? It's because demolition does not take any skill. Right? Unless you are trying to preserve something, unless you're trying to preserve the foundation of the house, or you're trying to preserve like the support beams of the house that keep the roof from falling in on your fucking head. Other than that, they give the owner a sledgehammer and say, go crazy. Because demolition takes no skill, and because the homeowner has already trusted that the developer and the builder is not going to allow them to break down anything that is important or super important to the structural foundation of the house. So all of y'all out there who are hollering about vote third party or don't vote for the Democrats or don't vote for Joe Biden or whatever, y'all are the homeowners with the sledgehammer, just wanting to swing away and tear down everything. But some of us out here know how to read fucking blueprints. And we are trying to tell you that, baby, if you want to burn it all down, you're going to burn down your support beams. You're going to burn down the structural foundation of the house, and you're going to be left in the fucking rubble. Then what? Now, listen, I understand you have big feelings about this, and I get it, but you have to also think and strategize and be smart and look at the fucking blueprint and realize that if you burn it all down, you're going to have nowhere to fucking live. The GOP, they got emergency tents out back, baby. You don't have any of that. So while y'all are hollering about burning it all down, what do you have in the interim for when it's all burnt down and there's smoke and ashes? What do you have for the people to survive on? What are you going to do when the GOP holds all the legislative power and cards in their hand and they make anything they want illegal and then going to throw your ass in prison for any fucking thing? What are you going to do then? And I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, I don't want to fucking die for this country. I don't want to go through no more motherfucking pain or turmoil for this fucktastic ass country. My ancestors built this shit for free. I do not want to suffer at anybody's hands anymore for the sake of revamping this fucking country. But what I will do is choose strategically to vote for people to inch closer and closer and closer and closer to the fucking progress that we deserve. I am willing to work my ass off without bloodshed. I am willing to work my ass off without putting people through unnecessary pain and strife. Y'all with this, well, just do this and that, the other. Y'all don't even know how to read the fucking blueprint, because if you did, you would understand that third parties aren't even on the fucking ballot in every state in this country. Therefore, in there too, they can't even win. They cannot win. It's not feelings, it's fucking math. Y'all haven't even done the minimal fucking education and research to figure out how to improve and take over the system we have. So how the hell am I supposed to trust that you're going to be able to burn something down and build something back up before the majority of us out here suffer? And we are suffering now. Yes, I 100% understand that. But bitch, you ain't ready for the shit that we're going to have to go through when the GOP has everything under control and turns this bitch into an authoritarian fucking state. You're not ready for that kind of suffering. And baby, if you're ready to die to stop somebody else's genocide, if you're willing to set yourself on fire to keep somebody else warm, then sign your ass up for the military and take your ass over there and fight, okay? Y'all think shit gonna be sweet and you just gonna be able to fix it in 2028 or whatever. Bitch, if these motherfuckers take over in 2024, it's game fucking over. And I know y'all keep saying y'all said that in 2016, y'all said that in 2020, because the fucking reality is still this fucking close, because motherfuckers will not vote in the goddamn midterms. If y'all would show up in 2018 and in 2022, we wouldn't be having these fucking discussions every 4 years. Because y'all only pay attention every 4 years, we have to say the same things every 4 years. But if you would show up every 2 fucking years, maybe, just maybe, we will be closer to the fucking progress you actually want. Maybe, just maybe, if y'all was talking about third parties in 2018 and in 2020 and in 2022, then maybe, just maybe, they would have a foothold somewhere to actually be a fucking option in 2028. But as it fucking stands, y'all have not done the fucking work on the ground to get any third party candidate, whether it be state or federally, to get on any fucking ballots. And again, there are rules to this shit. Those of us who know how to read the blueprint, we know the fucking rules. We know where the foundation beams are. We know where the water mains are. We know where your electrical systems are. And you fucking don't. You just want to burn shit down and replace it with nothing. And I'm not here for that bullshit. You know what that's called? You know what destroying shit without doing the proper calculus is called? Terrorism. Terrorism. That's what y'all are doing. You're becoming just like Hamas. Hamas did not calculate that this was going to be Israel's response to them. And you see what the fuck is going on.
I have to disagree just slightly. Hamas knew exactly what the Israeli response was going to be, and they were shocked it wasn't even more severe. They are actually surprised that there's a ceasefire. That wasn't the plan. They were literally planning on Israel coming in like the United States and Vietnam. They were prepared for a ground invasion. That's what they wanted. But anyway, I'm messing up the metaphor, but sorry.
Going on now. Y'all really fucking believe that the United States, which was built upon slavery, and slavery is still legal in our fucking Constitution, you think that they will not put your ass back into slavery to save the country? Bitch, you better wake the fuck up. The game of politics, y'all just want to throw your hands up and either burn shit down or not participate. I will never understand for the life of me how y'all want something so bad but don't want to figure out how to get it the right fucking way. Yes, I do understand, actually. A lot of y'all attend Dunning-Kruger University every fucking day, and that's why. You think you know, but you don't fucking know. And guess what? I attended Dunning-Kruger University for a semester or two my goddamn self. I 100% admit it. But you know what? I transferred out of that bitch because I realized it's unaccredited and it doesn't fucking teach you what the fuck you need to know to get shit done. In summation, if you have an actionable plan to get whatever the fuck you want done, I'd love to see it. Please show me how in the next 12 fucking months you are going to introduce a new person as a candidate for president, get them on the DNC primary ballot, get the delegates and the super delegates to get support behind them, then get them on the national general ballot, then get them elected by at least 60% of this country. If you have a plan for that, please, I'd like to see it. And I'm being sincere. I'm not bullshitting. If you have a fucking plan, I would like to see it. Also, if you have a plan on what you're going to do when everybody burns it all down to keep everybody fed and clothed and housed and educated and all that shit, because the GOP will take all of those things away from you. If you have an actionable plan for what you're going to do to keep people safe during the interim, after you burn it down, between time before you build it back up, I'd like to see that shit too. Show me, or shut the fuck.
I mean, she's got a very, very good point. Very good point.
I believe, first of all, that there is little, if any, chance of Jesse Jackson winning. And I think we all ought to be mature enough to know what we're talking about when we talk about what he's doing. It's a symbolic run he's making. And I think the positives that Anita pointed out are definitely there. Anything that will inspire blacks to be a part of this process is going to be beneficial to blacks. But I think the larger question is not a black candidacy. The larger question is the Democratic Party. Now, if 90% of blacks are Democrats, and the Democratic Party has rules, party caucuses, winner take all, it's loaded for the front runner, it's loaded against any black person winning. And if the logic is, and I'm not making a case for Jesse Jackson, but if the logic is no black should run because you'll take votes away from the white front runner, then we're assuring ourselves for the next zillion years of always having a white front runner. And I think blacks are very suspicious of the Republican Party, and they should be. But I think the fault is the black community is not suspicious enough of the Democratic Party, and it does not demand enough of the Democratic Party. And if I may say one last thing, I would support Jesse Jackson if he were running for a different reason. If he were running against the Democratic Party, I would support him as a black candidate. If he is running next March to turn over his followers to the white man who wins the nomination, then I will see no change in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party at some point in time has to be shaken out of its racist attitudes. And it has to be during one of these 4-year periods shown that it did not get the black vote. And because it didn't get the black vote, it didn't win the presidency. When that happens, it will change. I don't see any hope of the Republican Party embracing a black agenda at all.
So why would you risk the Republicans winning? See, this is 1984. Who was president? Who was president in the 80s? Ronald fucking Reagan. This clip aged like Limburger cheese. Why would you run against the Democratic Party? Yes, was there racism in the Democratic Party? Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But you go over to the Republican Party and it is 20 times that. And look at the Republican Party today from 1984 until now. What's the difference? The Republican Party has gotten even more racist, more antagonistic, and they've gotten even more dangerous. They are authoritarian, straight up Nazis now. Listen to Donald Trump speak. He is the guy that they are going to be voting for. So, I mean, unbelievable. Withholding your vote just to punish the Democratic Party, you punished yourselves, is what you did. You punished yourselves. And now we are still suffering. This guy is probably not even alive right now. I would be shocked if he's still alive right now. He looks to be 50. I mean, he looks great for 50, but he's probably 50. There's a good chance he's not alive today. We are still suffering from Reaganism all the way up into the present time. It has gotten horrible. It has gotten even worse. Oh. Yeah, that's that same clip we watched. That was a great clip. But yeah, it's just wild. You're not, oh, I'm not going to vote for anybody. Well, your non-vote counts whether you like it or not. This guy, this resistance guy, ugh. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna. But it's just, if the Republicans have gone full authoritarian, if they get into power again, they know that their margin is so slim, they have to go authoritarianism. They have to go full authoritarian. Black voters are moving away from the Democratic Party. Moving where? Where are you going? Okay, bye-bye. See you later. And when the Republicans take over, then what? What are you going to have? If the Republicans get in power, you think it's bad now, it's going to be 10 times worse when they get back into power. Unbelievable. We are our democracy is hanging by a thread, and I'm telling you, it's getting frayed. And this asshole just, anyway, I don't.
A great big Cadillac.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we can't afford another Republican administration. We cannot, and we cannot afford another 4 years of Trump. We have got to take democracy seriously. Do you want a democracy, or do you want authoritarianism? Make up your mind. Although COVID-19 spreads mostly via the mouth and nose, scientists now conclude that the greatest risk comes from assholes. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, women, hey, ladies, if you want every part of your body regulated, I mean, any part of your healthcare regulated by the Republicans, just sit home and sit home on election day, and you'll find out how quick. I'm telling you, the Republicans, they want to outlaw birth control, no abortions whatsoever. It doesn't matter. They're coming for everything. They want The Handmaid's Tale to be a documentary. They are working towards it. Michigan's Reproductive Health Act is officially law. Thank you. Thank you, Governor Whitmer. And and amazing, she almost got killed. She was on the chop block to be executed by a bunch of right-wing nut jobs that were going to kidnap her and have her taken to Wisconsin, of all places, and execute her in a forest. This is how crazy these people are. Yeah. No labels. Not left, not right, forward. He had the Trojan horse of the Republican Party. Exactly. Exactly. You know how bad? Do you want to know how bad the Republican Party is? I'll show you how bad the Republican Party is.
Who do you like in the Republican field?
Anybody. I'd be happy to support virtually any one of the Republicans. Maybe not Vivek, but the others that are running would be acceptable to me, and I'd be happy to vote for them. I'd be happy to vote for a number of the Democrats too. I mean, would be an upgrade from, in my opinion, from Donald Trump and perhaps also from Joe Biden. Look, I like President Biden. I find him a very charming, engaging person. There's some places I agree with him, but most places I disagree with him. I think he's made all sorts of terrible mistakes, but I would like to see someone else run.
Who do you like in the Republican field?
Anybody.
No, okay,
I would
shut the fuck up. I'm done with you. Even Mitt Romney would vote for a Democrat. That's how bad the Republicans are. Unbelievable.
Roughly 30 countries, most of them solo. The country that treated me the worst as a dark-skinned Black woman is Italy. In 2018, I decided that I wanted to take a trip over to Europe and visit a couple of countries while I was there. So on this trip, I visited Italy as well as Greece. I spent 4 days in Italy and 4 days in Greece. From the moment that I landed in the Rome International Airport, I was treated poorly. As I always do, I booked my transportation to get from the airport to my hostel before landing in Italy. So when I got there, all I had to do was find the company that was supposed to be transporting me, and then they would help me do the rest. Ciao. When I got to the kiosk of the company that I had already previously booked, those people would not even talk to me. The woman told me, wait over there, wait for my colleague to get back. But me.
Okay. I was hoping.
Keep on moving, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I won't touch ground.
So basically, this is all the things that the Biden administration has done so far. Getting rid of junk fees that every American gets stuck paying. Yeah, be it either travel or flying cross country or whatever. Yeah, those costs add up. But I'm telling you, you keep voting for Republican politicians in the state, the federal, and also the state, it's going to get worse. Oh, let's listen to her.
I'm going to share information with you about the Biden administration that they are not talking about in the news, and we all know why, because it's benefiting Black Americans. I left my job in June 2023 and relaunched my consulting company. Since that time, I have signed $1 million worth of contracts just for my consulting company, and I'm not even done.
Congratulations.
Or with the organizations that are willing to work with me. In 2021, he announced how he's going to fix the racial wealth gap. I believe history books are going to look back at this time and show that this is going to be the largest transfer of wealth to Black communities in the United States of America during the Biden administration. And the news is not reporting on it. I'm wondering why. In order to see all the money he is distributing to Black Americans, you have to go to whitehouse.gov or the Treasury. You have to go to administration websites and read their press releases. But this one right here says $8.28 billion was signed by Biden to give over to CDFIs and other alternative financial institutions to help Black-owned businesses get money to create for community and economic development.
And that is going to be absolutely huge. Investing money in Black communities and business, that is super important. It's critical. And there's no reason why we should be hoarding wealth from these people. None.
Development. This is where I'm getting my contracts, because once that money gets to the state of Michigan, they have to have somebody to implement the programming and help with community engagement and outreach for community and economic development. And not being talked about in the mainstream media, but $125 million invested for minority-owned businesses. Not being talked about in the news, but it says here that the Black families included by expanding the child independent care tax credit for families with 2 kids under 13 receive up to $8,000 towards their child care expenses, compared to the maximum of a previous $1,200. That is huge. Here under the Biden administration, it has been the largest expansion of women's business centers at HBCUs in over 30 years. Again, not going to be reported by the media. This was announced as soon as Biden took office in 2021. Again, not being talked about in the mainstream media, but the Biden-Harris administration piloted a program targeting access to capital for underserved entrepreneurs. And you know what the result is? The amount of SBA loans that have gone to Black-owned businesses has more than doubled since 2020. I could only find one article about it on Yahoo Finance, not being reported or talked about in the mainstream media. It's also increasing opportunities for Black American families to purchase homes. Here in the state of Michigan, we have an extra $15,000 for minorities to purchase a home before the end of the year or whenever the money runs out. Again, not being reported by the mainstream media. You have to go to whitehouse.gov to see what his plans were, when the things were implemented, when he let the press release out, and when he put the money out into the country for these benefits for Black American families. I will try to find some more articles, but I definitely know a lot of the stuff is on the whitehouse.gov site. And I'll do a part 2, because there's so much money that Biden is putting out, billions and billions of dollars, to advance Black Americans, their families, their opportunities to get jobs, to start businesses, to buy homes. And there's not being talked about in the mainstream media. I wonder why.
Good. Yeah, for far too long, the Black community has been marginalized in more ways than one. They have not. Well, get you a loan then. How about veterans? What about veterans? What about the disabled? Talk to your Republican lawmakers. They're the ones who are blocking any help for veterans. Did you know the reason why veterans are they're suffering because they're not getting help from the VA, because Republicans are gutting programs. They're voting. They literally shook hands and congratulated each other by defeating a bill that would have gone straight for veterans. This is what happens when you vote Republican. When you vote for Republicans, the people suffer. This is what happens. This is what happens when you let Republicans handle your VA benefits. When you allow Republicans to make decisions for your health care. Yeah. Republicans do not want to help the disabled. They do not want to help the veterans. They'll be fine to do a photo op with you. They'll shake your hand. They want your vote. But they're not going to give you anything, because that's socialism. You see how sick these people are? The Republicans want to destroy every institution that we have just so they could say, see, the government doesn't work. It doesn't help anybody. That's the plan. That's the point. Stop voting for Republicans. You want a loan for a business? Make it easier on yourself. Vote for democracy. Because that's what government does. That's what it's supposed to be. So anyway, all I can say, yeah, so anyway, that's all I can say. But yeah, but see, the problem is that the Black community has gotten either nothing or just a pittance. They haven't been getting any help as of late. And now money is starting to trickle into their communities, slow but sure. And this has been a long fought battle. They have been waiting for this money. Black veterans couldn't even get GI Bill loans. You want to talk about unfair? Black people who served in our military and fought in World War II were barred from getting GI Bills. You want to know what that's done to the Black community? That was devastating. You know how hard it is to start a business? The GI Bills helped start mom and pop shops all over the country. You know, I mean, it's just plain as the nose on our faces. Come on, guys. You gotta be at the ballot box every 2 years, not just every 4 years, every 2 years. You got to vote for the state, and then you got to vote for the federal. You've got to get involved. If we're not involved, we have ourselves to blame. We have only ourselves to blame. Man, I could go on. There's just so much stuff. Portugal has been running on 100% renewables, dropping consumer electric bills to nearly zero for 6 days in a row. Portugal they just did a dry run. They wanted to see if their grid could withstand just being on renewables, either on hydro, either wind power, solar panels, hydroelectricity. They went for 6 days. Just 6 days. They ran the whole country on renewable energy. It can be done. Yes, it can be done. We just have to have the determination that we're going to do it. We have to have we just have to knuckle down and say, yes, we're going to do it. Small businesses are booming under the Biden-Harris administration. You better believe it. And if we get another 4 years of Biden and get the Republicans out, we're going to see a lot. We're going to see a lot more improvement in our economy. One more. Let's keep it going. Okay, here we go. Oop.
2 days ago, one of our fellow Americans, a little girl named Abigail, who turned 4 years old, she spent her birthday, and at least 50 days before that, held hostage by Hamas. Today, she's free, and Jill and I, together with so many Americans, are praying for the fact that she is going to be all right. You know, she's free and she's in Israel now. And so those who are now wrapping Abigail in love and care, the supportive services she needs, she's been through a terrible trauma. You know, her mom was killed.
And she also had to spend her birthday in captivity.
In front of her when her kibbutz was attacked by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. Abigail ran to her dad then, who then was gunned down as well, while using his body to shield little Abigail. She then ran to a neighbor for help, where they were all taken hostage. That entire house of neighbors were taken hostage by Hamas and held for 50 days. What she endured is unthinkable. Abigail was among 13 hostages released today from Gaza under the brokered and sustained, though intensive, U.S. diplomacy. She's now safely in Israel, and we continue to press and expect for additional Americans will be released as well. And we will not stop working until every hostage is returned to their loved ones.
Well, alrighty then. And this is the guy they say is Sleepy Joe, the guy who they say he has dementia. That sounds pretty
Today's
clear
Joe,
to me.
one of our fellow Americans.
Excuse me. That sounds pretty clear to me. He seems to have full control over his faculties. And then you listen to Donald Trump and he sounds like a blithering fucking idiot. It's just wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah. Border funding. Next time you hear Republicans bitch about the border problem, the Republicans voted against border funding. They voted against it. They do this every single time. They are the problem. Yes, absolutely. Unbelievable. There's Adam Kinzinger. I'm sure he's got a lot of good things to say, but yeah. Why are we stuck with Twitter? It's going to be a while. But there's no other platform, unfortunately, that is up to the standards of Twitter. That's got to change, but anyway. Yeah, these Christian terrorists, they really are. There's just so much to talk about, really. Ugh, Carrie Lake. Yuck. Nasty. Oh man, I could just scroll from one clip to another, and it's just like there's just so many. Donald Trump got the middle finger from some people in South Carolina. It seems like wherever he goes, he gets flipped off. The American people don't like Trump or his insane MAGA conspiracy theories. There needs to be more. We need to have more of that. Oh, there's Rudy Giuliani. Do we want to listen to this? What? I'm sorry.
So the right thing was done here to assume
probably a terrorist or possibly.
So the right thing was done here to assume
probably a terrorist or
is someone screwing around? Okay, yeah, this video has been edited to add the Pornhub sign and screen. The unedited clip can be viewed here without the login page. Okay, so someone's fucking with Rudy Giuliani. Good. That's good. I mean, there's just so many good books, even with all the negativity. Oh, yes. Moms for Liberty organizer is a convicted sex offender. Of course. They hire only the best people. I like this guy. I've listened to him before. You know what? Let's take the time. Sure, why not? Take it away.
believe it's the Republicans that are trying to take away free school lunches for kids. Nice. It's Republicans that defend child marriage. Nice. It's Republicans who think 10-year-old rape victims should be forced to have a child. Nice. It's Republicans who refuse to expand Medicaid in their states to help poor families, despite the fact the federal government picks up over 90% of the tab. Nice. Republicans are rolling back child labor laws so a 14-year-old can work 48 hours a week in a factory. Nice. 8 of the top 10 states with child abuse are Republican states. Nice. It's Republicans who refuse to do anything about children being unalived in school. Nice. It's Republicans destroying public education so rich families can get voucher programs. Nice. Yeah, we know, we get it. All about the kids. Save the kids. What about the kids? Think of the children. No child left behind. Whatever, dude. You guys don't give a fuck about kids. You know what? Anyway, good talk.
He was kind of
The
slurring.
Republicans are trying to take away free school.
He wasn't really trying, but he was basically talking about all the things Republicans are trying to take away from children themselves. Yeah, here's this guy who they want to end Social Security. Are you getting closer to becoming a senior citizen? Mike Lee from Utah is literally telling people they want to end Social Security. Look at all those gray heads at the table. They literally live on Social Security. They're I think they're old enough to be recipients for Social Security. And he's talking about taking it all away. Oh, they're coming for it. They are coming for it. They want to end it all. Oh, God. These ads are just oh, my fucking God. Sick of these goddamn ads. Yeah, Donald Trump says it was just locker room talk. But does anybody really believe he's ever been in a gym? Yeah. Good point. He doesn't go to gyms. I'm sorry. I don't think he's ever been inside of a gym. Maybe when he was in college. That's about it. Mr. Bone Spurs. Texas food banks struggle to make up for Greg Abbott's failure to get federally funded food assistance to thousands. Whistleblowers affirm that Abbott is still failing to offer any meaningful plan to resolve this problem his indifference created. Exactly. They want the poor to suffer. It's your fault for being poor, and you should suffer. That is the Republican mantra. Wow. Christianity in America is just a money-making scheme. Pope slams American Catholics for turning faith into a cash cow and ideological circus. Well, I agree with him in spirit, but have you looked at the Vatican lately? I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway. Oh, look, Robert Reich. He actually worked for the... I'm the chosen one. He actually worked for the Clinton administration as... what was he? I can't remember what his title was. Anyway, let's just watch his video.
The No Labels Party is not what it pretends to be. It's a front group for Donald Trump.
I am the chosen one.
If you or anyone in your life is planning to vote for No Labels or any third party in 2024, please watch and share this video first. Now, I understand if you're sick of the two major parties, you might be intrigued by a party that claims to be a common sense alternative that finds the middle ground.
The political group No Labels is currently funding an effort to get a third-party unity ticket on the ballot next November.
Here are 3 things you need to know. First, No Labels is a dark money group with secret far-right donors. Investigative reporting has revealed that they include many of the same Republican donors who have pumped huge sums of money into electing candidates like Trump and Ron DeSantis. They also include the right-wing billionaire Harlan Crow, who spent years secretly treating Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to a lifestyle of the rich and famous. If the No Labels Party is backed by Trump donors in an election where Trump is on the ballot, there's actually a label we should give to No Labels. Clearly, they're a pro-Trump group.
I find your party, potential party, I should say, fascinating. I think all eyes need to be on it as we head into 2024.
Second, the premise No Labels is based on, that Donald Trump and President Biden are equally extreme ends of the political spectrum, is preposterous. Trump has been impeached twice, found by a jury to have committed sexual assault, is facing 91 criminal charges in 4 separate cases, 2 of them in connection with an attempt to effectively end American democracy. There's no equally extreme candidate as Trump. Finally, the structure of the Electoral College means that, as a practical matter, a third party only draws votes away from whichever major party candidate is closest to it. No third party candidate has ever won a presidential election. And in this particular election, when one of the major parties is putting up a candidate who threatens democracy itself, we cannot take the risk. Donald Trump has already tried to overturn one election and suggested suspending the Constitution to maintain power. It is no exaggeration to say that if he takes the White House again, there may not ever be another free and fair election. Democracy won by a whisker in the last presidential election. Just 44,000 votes across Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin. Less than 0.1% of the total votes cast nationwide were the difference between the Biden presidency and a tie
That
in the Electoral
is
College
scary.
that would have thrown the election to the House of Representatives and hence to Trump. If candidates from No Labels or any other third party peel off just a fraction of the anti-Trump vote from Biden, while Trump voters stay loyal to him, Trump could win the top 5 swing states comfortably and return to the Oval Office. And No Labels' own polling shows the third party would do just that. Let me be absolutely clear. Third party groups like No Labels are in effect front groups for Trump in 2024 and should be treated as such. The supposed centrism No Labels touts is nonsense. There's no middle ground between democracy and fascism. All Americans who believe in democracy must unite behind Joe Biden. Please share this video and spread the word.
I like Robert Reich. He's, I mean, incredibly smart. Incredibly smart. But yeah, I mean, he breaks it. I think he was, I want to say he was Secretary of the Treasury. I could be wrong. But yeah, I know he had a position in the Clinton administration. I just don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, Robert Reich he is on the nose. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like, do you want democracy or don't you? That's what it boils down to. And again, third-party candidates are not in every state. Not every state even recognizes a third-party candidate. So a third-party candidate could, as of today, can never win. Ever. There's no way a third-party candidate could ever win. That's the sad truth of it, because they're not recognized in every state. Unbelievable. I'd love to play some Jimi Hendrix, but I'd get a copyright strike. But so much to talk about. I could just dedicate this entire episode, there's just so much to do. But I got to stop. The family is in, and I've got to get. So with that, thank you so much for listening to my unhinged rants. This is not a typical show. Usually we have the reading of the word, and then I read a book we've been reading. But we didn't. There's just no way we can get to everything. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you want to check out the old videos, some of the videos are up on the channel now. Don't ask me how, but they just popped in. By the way, if you are not subscribed to The Friendly Atheist, why not? Roland Martin is also a good news source. I just listened to a 2.5 hour video of his today. Very informative, politically speaking, of what's going on in the Black community, and it's important we start to think beyond our immediate sphere of influence. Okay, so, but yeah, so all of the links to those channels are going to be in the description. So yeah, click on the links, follow them, listen to them. You're going to learn something. So Roland Martin Unfiltered podcast right there. Friendly Atheist podcasts. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he talked about some important issues as far as legislated Christianity trying to infiltrate our schools yet again. Some victories and some defeats. So get on those shows. If you don't have an iPhone, they're also on I can't think of the Play Store. Whatever the podcasts for Android users are, that's where you'll find them. They're on both. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked it. And I'm through. I'm just about through with my Corona, and I haven't taken a piss yet. You thought I was going to duck out, didn't you? Still ice cold. Whew. I got a few more swallows. I can do it. Last one. And it's done. 1 quart of Corona Familiar. That's a good that's a good tasting beer right there. It's darker and imported from Mexico. Great. Podbean. That's what it is. I knew it. Oh, it's okay. I went before the show. I wasn't going to allow for any interruptions, so 5 minutes from now, I'm going to be gasping to get into the bathroom. Trust me. I'm not that good. All right. I will talk to you all later. Don't know exactly when or where it'll be, but it'll definitely be later when we see each other again. Take care.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand. Walking through the streets of Soho in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
He was looking for a place called Beef Gonna get a big dish of beef chow
mein.
Ow. Werewolves of London. Ow.
Yeah.
Ow. Werewolves of London. Ow. You hear him hollering around your kitchen door. You better not let him in.
Why not?
Little old lady got mutilated late last.
Oh, you don't tell.
Werewolves of London again.
Not again.
Ow. Werewolves of London. Ow. Ow. Werewolves of London. Ow. He's the hairy-handed gent who ran amok in Kent. And lately he's been overheard in Mayfair. You better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim.
Oh, will he?
I'd like to meet his
Uh-huh.
tailor. Ow, werewolves of London. Ow. Ow, werewolves of London. Ow. Well, I saw Long Cheney walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Werewolves of London. Draw blood.
And good night. Take care. See you later.